As France prepares to vote in its next presidential election, you might expect political fireworks, debates, campaigning, and passionate politics. But the upcoming vote for France's top job seems to have lost its spark, with interest in this race plummeting since the last election in 2017.
The war in Ukraine has made the election difficult, and the public debate is lighter than it is normally during an election. There's less coverage in the media, with less debate and fewer analysts focused on the election, reducing the amount of information for the electorate.
This time around, news coverage is less focused on the faces and more on the diplomacy surrounding the war. More than 80% of voters say the crisis in Ukraine is top of their minds at the ballot box. But it's not just the electorate reevaluating what this conflict means. Across the political spectrum, candidates have had to rethink their positions on everything from defense spending to geopolitical alliances to match voters' new attitudes. In some cases, this has meant a significant U-turn for candidates' political platforms. Perhaps nowhere is this more clear than with National Rally candidate Marine Le Pen, who's trying to appear more moderate. The far-right politician just a few years ago called for a moratorium on legal migration. Now she is publicly supporting EU diplomacy efforts and has welcomed refugees with open arms.
I say it without ambiguity. France is honoured to take part in the reception of Ukrainian refugees. I, for one, am ready to do so, as I believe the French are.
But Le Pen, alongside others from far ends of the political spectrum, still insist on stepping back from NATO. Jean-Luc Mélenchon and Éric Zemmour have refused to support allied Western action while condemning Russia's invasion.
I am non-aligned today, and I am still fighting against the Russian invasion of Ukraine. We are not neutral, we are committed. I propose to leave NATO, a useless organisation.
The West has a responsibility for the escalation of violence in the East, and that it must understand Russian demands against NATO expansion. Unfortunately, we've done nothing to prevent this escalation. I say we because we are all responsible. The Russians too, of course.
For the incumbent president, the crisis has given a unique moment for him to prove himself. Diplomacy has left little time for campaigning, and yet Emmanuel Macron has still seen a boost in his popularity. But while he's leading in the polls, the race is closer than many expected. There are 11 other candidates on the ballot this weekend, and no French president has been re-elected for 20 years. Ryan Thompson, CGTN, Paris.